Time for some serious dystopia today, guys. Continuing my dystopian film series. This one is definitely not a light, warm, family friendly, easy to watch movie. Today I'm going to be talking about the themes of George Lucas's 1971 sci-fi dystopian movie THX 1138, which was directed by himself and written by him and Walter Murch. The film stars Robert Duvall as THX, sometimes referred to as Tex, Donald Pleasance as Sen, that's S-E-N, Maggie McComey as Lou, spelled L-U-H, and Don Pedro Colley as S-R-T. Why such unusual names, you ask? Well, we'll explain that in a moment. In the future, human reproduction is outlawed, and drugs are mandated to control the population, making them malleable and compliant. Workers are all bald, and they wear the same outfits, thus destroying any sense of individuality. It's a real Big Brother authoritarian surveillance state with total top-down control. And this is really shown to us in the ruling ideology of the system. When THX goes to a confession booth, he speaks to a picture of their deity, ONM0000. And THX prays the following mantra: Mass is for the masses, one for all is one, masses are what we are. For the party and for all, masses are what we are. Which gives you an insight into how dehumanized human beings are in this movie. The individual doesn't matter, only the collective matters. It's a lot like communism in that respect. The deity tells him, work hard, increase production, prevent accidents, be happy. Their dwellings are cold, sterile, and basic. They're supposed to just basically come home and watch entertainment after they're finished working. So they're being distracted with consumption, and then take their mind and mood control medications every day. But when THX's roommate changes his meds, THX starts to feel different. He begins to first experience drug withdrawals, and then he starts to feel basically human again. He brings his concerns to the deity, who tells him, buy more now, and be happy. It's not long before the medications wear off, and both THX and Lou, L-U-H, begin to have normal romantic feelings for each other. They pursue a physically romantic relationship, which of course is outlawed, and this means that they will soon have to run from the robot police. To me, this film feels like a very extreme allegory for the blandness, the meaninglessness of a consumerist lifestyle, where people feel no sense of purpose other than being a cog in a corporate machine meant to be sort of kept efficient in the service of the system by any means necessary. So they're fed a diet of coping mechanisms, propaganda, frivolity, entertainment, and of course, chemical dependence in order to suppress their natural inclinations, instincts, and feelings, because otherwise they would realize how utterly rotten and pointless such a life is, and such feelings could eventually lead to the collapse of the system. And the brutal treatment of human beings under this regime is also demonstrated in how a person is named. So, as I've said, people are not given proper first and second names. The system assigns them these alphanumeric designations, much like the Borg drones of Star Trek. So, for example, THX 1138 is the protagonist's name. Essentially, the story is an exploration of a hyper-organized totalitarian world system which has much the same ambitions of a utopian system. So the attempt to solve all the world's problems, maximize efficiency, and produce abundance. And in many examples of dystopian science fiction, this sort of thing is achieved either through re-engineering of the environment or re-engineering of human beings. In this film, it's the latter, re-engineering human beings using drugs and technology. And of course, in the process of doing this, it denies the individual their humanity, their freedom, and their sense of personal autonomy. So the system enforces its control and social engineering through ideology, physical violence, and medication. Because freedom could be dangerous to the system. The system can't control what people could do. In that respect, the film is like 1984, Brave New World, or Equilibrium, because the unpredictable nature of human beings and their emotions could be considered a barrier to producing a system of perfect order. Therefore, the system seeks to control the human mind, body, and soul, and deny people their own nature, keeping them servile and sterile and treating them like machines in highly dangerous, labor-intensive industries. Production units to do work and nothing else. To me, the film kind of feels like a satire of the soul-crushing corporate world and that whole dehumanizing lifestyle, taken, of course, to an extreme in this story. The loss of individuality is a common theme in many dystopian sci-fi films, as it was, of course, in Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which is another film I've reviewed. In that film, the pod people, who are replacing everyone, are basically a metaphor for the effects of modern consumerist urban living in San Francisco, where a generation of people grew to feel disenfranchised and disconnected from each other, living a life that isn't conducive to having children and stable relationships. Personal connections became shallow as people lost a sense of self and community. Because of the unnaturally fast pace of life and atomizing nature of modern working and city living, it overwhelmed people, making them feel small and like automatons. So in a similar sense, THX 1138 offers us another perspective on this theme of the loss of individuality, this time at the hands of a deeply oppressive system. THX's escape from the underground city at the end of the movie and seeing the sun for the first time is a powerful, wordless, and provocative moment that speaks to the human desire for freedom and something transcendent beyond the material confines of the artificial and synthetic existence of modernity. So guys, those are my thoughts on the film THX 1138. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.